One Punch Man 109 Fake was a good chapter. Was this how you wanted to start it off? I think so. Yeah, I thought it was good. It wasn't as good as last chapter, and that's kind of what made me think about something. I'll quickly get on with the review in a sec, but obviously I did a live reaction for last chapter, and it did really well. Like, I got a good amount of views on it, a good amount of likes, I got quite a few subscribers from it too, good boost for me, and honestly, I'm incredibly grateful for that kind of response for it. It really means a lot to me, genuinely. Thank you for watching that one if you did, and if you didn't, no worries, you didn't miss a lot. And it's kind of made me realise, because people are like, oh man, you should do more live reactions, but like, we have chapters like this, which are good, but they don't make me go like, yeah! like Saitama versus Orochi did, you know? Matt, can you put the Star Wars noise over that, please? So I think I'm going to start judging it like with live reactions for now, either by the endings of chapters, if I feel like the next chapter feels like it's going to be really good, or if, or honestly, best thing you guys could do, if a chapter is like really good, just leave a comment in the review, like this one. So say like 110 is really good. I haven't read it by then. Like, you guys usually comments be like, it's so good, it's so good, it's so, like, live react to it kind of thing, and then I'll probably do it and I'll see what goes on. Don't spoil anything though, please. Any case, let me talk about the review, because good chapter, lots of info. I guess not lots of information because it's a relatively short chapter, but lots of good info like that's given out to us, and like good things to think about more than anything. So chapter starts off with where we left off last time. Saitama beat Orochi, and Orochi's head is on the floor. Gyoro finally finds him, and she is panicking. She's truly scared of, like, this thought that Orochi, this monster, is dead. Like, this monster who she knew was more powerful than anything has been defeated already. So she's immediately like, I have to find the opponent who beat him, analyze everything about them, devise countermeasures, everything like this. And then the moment she sees Saitama, that's it, you know, which I think is actually a great way to look at Saitama as well, because, like, it's the whole, there's no real point of trying to counter against him, because you can't, he's just that strong, you know, that's just what it is. And, like, even the fact is, like, I guess on a smaller note, like, the moment someone is aware of Saitama, that's when they're done. That's, like, you're done. Like, any monster who just, like, unless, we haven't met a monster, really, apart from that one OVA where, like, you know, Saitama was still young and he beat a monster before. No real monster has actually come back and had a rematch against Saitama, obviously, because it's Saitama, because they don't know about him. There's no being out there, as far as we know, who knows about Saitama and is like, stay away from them until I'm ready, you know? That's not their goal. But obviously, as Gyoro is doing this, like, you know, she's like, who is this bald person? Tatsumaki overhears it, and then they assume Darkshine. Which I think is interesting, because I think it's, what they could be doing with the Monster Association here now is because they've taken down Orochi. Orochi was the biggest, baddest monster they had, right? And the fact that Gyoro is going to be, like, defeated here and now as well by Tatsumaki, they've immediately got rid of the two, like, leaders. Like, you know, obviously, the brains and the brawn of the Hero Association, of the Monster Association even. And not that the others aren't weak at all, but I think this is what it's going to come down to, is because with someone like these guys, you know, I think it's really gonna just hammer in, like, you know, these guys are done, the title Monster King is up for grabs, and I think it's gonna become a lot more brutal in that sense. Also, because, like, I think there's just gonna be too much of a battle royale thing to go on. Like, you know, the monsters, as we know, monsters are negative, they're greedy, they're bad people. Well, they're not even people. So I think there could be something there with them going on to, like, you know, have, like, this big, like, not necessarily, like, start turning on each other straight away, but they're immediately kind of like, right, when the Hero Association's done, I'm gonna rule. And all these other monsters, all the other executives have this idea too. And obviously, with the fact of Tatsumaki defeating Gyoro fairly quickly, and assuming that Darkshine is the one who took down Orochi, I think that could be interesting to lead to, like, maybe some, like, a way for Tatsumaki and the other S-Class heroes to start losing fights, because they've been doing pretty well. And obviously, they haven't come against any of the executives apart from Gyoro, Nian, kind of, you know, and it's because the S-Classes aren't weak, but I think they'll start going in underestimating these monsters because they've been missing everyone up still, apparently. And like, so I think that could be a good way. So like, Tatsumaki could underestimate opponent. I don't know who she'd fight. I just feel like I say this answer all the time, but probably Black Sperm, just because of the designs. But like, everyone, I'm like, you know, because Saitama's gonna fight Black Sperm, Tatsumaki's gonna fight Black Sperm, Second Girl's gonna fight Black Sperm. As this chapter carries on, obviously, you know, she defeats Gyoro, and Gyoro surrenders. He's like, if you're going to apologise, say it in person, because she knows that that form isn't the real Gyoro, which we will obviously assume that is the form that we saw, like, all the way back in Manhole when we saw Roshi transforms. So, obviously, the true form, the woman. So we're going to see her soon. I'm looking forward to seeing that. Speaking of things I like to see, I like the cover art as well, but it wasn't banging a suit, was it? Some really interesting stuff from, like, these few pages here. Like, main thing to take from it, I suppose, obviously, Gyoro has his, like, last attack, which was pretty cool, honestly, like, using all the eyes that had been blown out of the body and shooting, like, energy at Tatsumaki, but it really should have showed Tatsumaki's power, where, like, it was, like, you know, surprise attack, and even then Tatsumaki was, like, nothing. But those two pages are, like, the real, like, wait, what kind of moments of this chapter, because first of all, she's like, that was a very elegant and nuanced technique. She actually complimented Gyoro on it. Who taught you how to do it? And of course, we've got the Fubuki thing where she goes on to, where she tears the body out. That's a great bit of art, by the way. And, like, she's obviously very much in pain. And then, that, like, Tatsumaki looks quite, like, she's not a bad guy, but, like, you know, she's not good. She's not doing a great thing. Like, this, obviously, Gyoro's bad and still, but, like, she's, like, no issues, like, as she screams out in pain, as I assume. Like, aren't you Fubuki's friend? Okay, that's knowledge. It's knowledge that I'm interested in knowing. So, first of all, like, something I've been thinking about for a bit now is the fact that confirmed psychics, at least, have all been women. So, we've got, Fubuki, Tatsumaki, and Gyoro. And there's ones like Gespo, but we don't really know if he's got psychic abilities. It might be something similar to King, which I'll get onto later on. But the fact is, like, maybe, so is there some kind of connection, like, with women and psychic abilities in particular? And on top of that, like, obviously not every woman can do it, but, like, at the very least, that's all we've seen, really, until we see a male psychic, until I'm proven wrong. That's kind of, like, my idea. And the fact is, like, you know, Gyoro, no, not Gyoro. The fact is, like Tatsumaki makes the comment, like, who taught you that? So there's more history to the psychics, and it's a good way to build up psychics more. So there's got to be something there, right? Like, because Tatsumaki recognizes who taught you that. So was there someone who, like, taught Tatsumaki and Fubuki stuff? Like, how to harness their psychic abilities, which would make sense at the very least, that kind of stuff. I don't know. And then, of course, we get the Fubuki friend, which is quite a shock. So Fubuki and Gyoro know each other? But not really. Like, I was trying to figure out when it was, so maybe it was like someone from the Blizzard Bunch, but it's not because, like, well, I suppose I'd say no, because we don't know how long Gyoro had been working on Orochi, and so for that to happen at the same time, who knows. But obviously Tatsumaki recognises her, and it'll be interesting when they actually meet up, to be honest. Like, I'm looking forward to their conversation, like, to see, well, basically learning about their history and their past, so that's going to be interesting too. So, like, as good as fight comedy are, like, I do like some backstory stuff. They don't do a lot of it in One Punch Man, so, like, Goro stuff I really enjoy, so I'm really looking forward to seeing this. Then we get to Fubuki, Bang, and Bomb. And just a small thing art-wise, I love when Murata does this, like, because obviously Fubuki's got, like, black hair, and, like, when, like, he doesn't put detail in there, and you just kind of can't tell, you kind of make out yourself, like, where the hair is, and, like, he's got that panel as well where Fubuki's hair just blends into the background, and it's just her face kind of thing. I love that kind of, I love the style of that. It looks really good. So obviously Fubuki starts panicking because she recognises Tatsumaki is fighting someone very powerful with psychic. So psychic ability at least works kind of like, doesn't work like aura. It's not like everyone has like a unique one. It works more like, so she can't be like, so she recognises Tatsumaki, of course, because such a powerhouse, but she also recognises that she's fighting another incredibly strong being. So then they kind of start talking about, like, all, like, the different opponents. Like, Goro isn't the only one to worry about down there, it's all the other monsters. And so now they're kind of, I guess they're more prepared to fight someone in the future, so they're not going to be like, what's that? And, like, I didn't know there were other monsters down here, kind of thing. And then they start talking about King. And I guess, first of all, like, a lot of this, I guess we learn a lot about King's reputation in this chapter, really. So first of all, we see from from Bomb, and he goes, even I'm aware of how powerful King is. I'm sure he'll be fine, because obviously Fubuki's like, I don't even know if King's going to be okay on his own here. So we then finally see King, and we were talking on the podcast about this, and Satsuki brought up a very good point, which was like, you know, we weren't sure if King was actually still down there, because obviously when Rover got hit by Saitama with the sit, like, we saw everyone's reactions pretty much except for King. So, like, to say that King wasn't down there would have been a very good argument, and, like, it was, and fair play to Satsuki, because it was, but then we just get that panel of King's face, is like, here he is, and then we learn the reason they split into two groups is to cover more ground. So I guess, once again, speaking of reputation, is the fact that they should be split up into equal groups, but they probably saw it in terms of terms of power. So they saw themselves as Bang, Bomb, and Fubuki all as a group, equal to King in strength. If not, the only way like the groups could be fair is if King was on his own, which says a lot about like how high they think of King, you know. And obviously, as he goes on, he's like, why am I down here? Just, like, leave me alone. And he's like, he just wants to be, you know, he's like, just keep calm, you can do it. And then, obviously, Wagama shows up, and he starts panicking. Wagama goes up to fight King. Well, not, what was I fight King? Well, yeah, technically fight King. But he goes up, he's like, oh, King, you're here to save me. There's all these heroes and monsters. Because, first of all, I was like, where's Child Emperor? What's happened to Child Emperor? When, obviously, at first, he goes to approach King, and King's just to me like, get away from me, I know you do not want to go near me. And like, it's great, but like, I personally was like, yeah, look at him, like, giving Wagama the lessons, you know, like, because Wagama's a little shit, really. So when King's like, stay away from me, it's so good. And then we get the reveal that it was actually a monster who could like perfectly disguise himself. So I guess Tiger level would be appropriate to say, because I imagine like Destro Chloridium, the monster who took over the Hero Association guy, and then Darkshine just went to. I imagine he's probably like I think Tiger's a fair level to say to him. So he just kind of, from the pressure of King alone, like his presence, he collapsed, right? His reputation is what gave him, I guess, is that. So is it fair to say, like, I guess, like, we've seen this from the past, you know, like, he has got a reputation about him that, like, you know, inspires heroes and strikes fear into monsters. We saw this with Tongue Stretcher or Tongue Licker, when he, obviously, the moment he saw King, he was like, I can't win, I've lost. G4 was a bit different as well, I guess, because, like, G4 was really like, no, we'll fight, and then when King was like, you want to fight me at full strength, you gotta let me do this, like, alright, I respect that. And obviously Tatsumaki, someone who has shown very little respect to everyone, was even like, you're alright, King, I respect you doing this. So I guess what's fair to say is he can't, like, this could be how King fights in the association. Is, you know, like, he could, I don't know what he'll do, but, like, he's down there, and I think it'd be good if he went up against an executive. Because I feel bad for him because he's King and he's not, but he's like One Piece fans, he's got like constant Conqueror's Haki, which makes sense because his name is King, because like immediately everyone's like, I am not messing with this guy, and they just pass out from like his sheer intimidation. So I guess for him to fight an executive, I think that could be really entertaining, because obviously, you know, at the very least, maybe not an executive actually, more like a demon level threat, because like someone who accepts, like, you know, they have, like, because I suppose we haven't seen him go up against any demon level opponents properly, so, like, someone who would go, this is a powerful guy, you know, they'd see him and go, like, this is King, and, like, just kind of how it affects them in different ways, because we know, like, if you're that low level, you're just going to pass out from fighting King, but how a stronger opponent would do, and I think, like I said, executive would be entertaining, just, I suppose it depends on the executive, because, like, if it's someone like Rover, for example, Rover, like, as we saw, doesn't really have a sense of danger, like other people do, as we know. Like, despite being an animal, he was like, you know, he was barking at Saitama, just going for him, and then we saw this. And in comparison to someone like in comparison to someone who I guess would be smarter. So maybe not like even natural water. We obviously don't know a lot about the others, but I'd assume if they're like decent intelligence, they'd be quite entertaining to see go up against King, to be honest. Someone who kind of understands, like, his reputation is the main thing, because, like, as far as I can tell, Rover and Even Natural Water is just a dog and some water, but the others might have some smart, so I think that might be interesting. Obviously, after that, as the puddle goes, she's just like, this is disgusting, Saitama, where are you? And that's where the chapter ends. So, like, the art was pretty good. Obviously, like, last chapter was phenomenal, but it was still a good chapter. Like, the info on the psychics and then, like, kind of what King can do, really, in this situation is interesting. Like, I want to see him go up against, like, more powerful opponents just to see their reaction, because we've only truly seen, like, Tiger level, so I guess, like, a demon, and then if we could work our way up the ladder, so, like, the next step would have to be executives, because I don't think there's any other dragons down there. But yeah, what do you guys think of this chapter? Did you like it? Did you not like it? What are your opinions, your thoughts, everything like that? Let me know in the comments down below. Like this video if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see more. And yeah, that's it. Goodbye, I guess. Wow, Matt, you really know how to end a video.